What's up, everybody? So how to prep your kids for the real world. Spoiler alert, it involves jiu-jitsu, okay? Like, obviously, I mean, even if this was on my personal whatever, we're talking about jiu-jitsu. And I was thinking about this. I was like, why is jiu-jitsu such a tier above? It's such a premium activity. And what it comes down to is, right, like, it's such an appropriate correlation, and it's a direct, it just mimics real life. Let me give you an example. So, like, if a kid, this is just bouncing all over. If a kid is, if they do sports or something else, and they're going to be sort of cushioned a little bit to the reality of, like, what may or may not happen. In jiu-jitsu, the learning curve is so steep that it's like most kids and adults quit. You do a match, nobody, not one ever, does great their first day, unless they've got prior grappling experience. Okay, it just doesn't happen. And so now they've got to face the fact that I just failed at this match, and how do I get better? And there's no secret. I just had this conversation with an adult member last night, and there's no secret tweak that can make you go from being really bad at jiu-jitsu to really great at jiu-jitsu overnight. It's just steady, consistent mat time being put in. And so when we talk about when we talk to parents about what we teach kids, I was like, yeah, I mean, they're gonna learn jiu-jitsu, of course, but they learn more through the process than they actually do the end result, which is, whatever belt they're aiming for, gray, orange, yellow, green, blue, black, whatever. They learn more in the process of that. And I think I was actually reading an interesting article that a great portion of high earners, one percenters of the world, they almost kind of missed the days when they were struggling a little bit, because it was the process that molded them into who they are. And so that's why a lot of people they earn black belt and they continue to train, because that's just the fabric of who they are now. So when you put your child in an activity, as parents, and I fight the same tendency, you want to protect your child. You want to protect your child from as much harm as possible, but in reality, you're not doing them any favors. And on the contrary, you're actually setting them up for future failure. You're setting them up for future disappointment. If we teach a lot of law enforcement, and one of them, he's like, I'm the first father that a lot of these guys have seen. They've lived their entire life with no consequences, doing what they want, when they want, where they want, and I'm the first one to tell them no, and if they don't do it, there's consequences. It's like, what is this? They've never had those consequences before. And so if you set your child up right to say, listen, some things you're going to do your absolute best and you're still going to lose. You're going to do your absolute best and the rug's going to get pulled out from under you. You're going to do everything within your power and you're still going to get beat. And that's okay. And the integrity and the mental strength and the grit, there's an old word, the grit to keep going through that is what builds strong kids. I mean, that's just what makes incredible kids, all combined with the fact, I'm not even going to go into right now real deep, it's a year-round sport with paid professional coaches, not volunteers. You're dealing with professionals. We are the bomb at working with kids. And I say that just, now we've got so much referrals and reviews on Facebook and Google, it's just over and over, and it's systematic now on how we help these kids. And that's why I put my daughter in jiu-jitsu. That's why Coach Muhammad's got every one of his kids trains jiu-jitsu. And it really gives them an unfair advantage. And so that is my thoughts on how to prep your kid up for success. Coach David with Metro Jiu-Jitsu. As always, I will see you guys on the mats.